Sucker punch. That's what the Trudeau government hit Canadians with today by increasing interest rates after Trudeau and his government promised rates would stay low for long. They said the rates would stay low, so Canadians took on hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. And now suddenly, rates have risen by over 4 percentage points in a single year. This is the 8th increase in less than a year. In fact, rates are now 16 times, the Bank of Canada rate is 16 times higher than it was a year ago. Why? Well, the cost of government is driving up the cost of living. $500 billion of inflationary Trudeau deficits are bidding up the goods we buy and the interest we pay. He's added more debt than all previous prime ministers combined. And this, according to the governor of the Bank of Canada, is driving up interest rates. On top of that, Trudeau and his costly coalition with the NDP proposed to triple the carbon tax on gas, heat, and groceries, even after that same tax has failed to hit a single solitary climate change target. This is the responsibility of a Prime Minister who is the most expensive Prime Minister in Canadian history. A Poilievre government will reverse these inflationary policies, will cap spending, cut waste, fire the high-priced consultants who are now gobbling up over $15 billion or $1,000 for every Canadian household every single year. We'll get rid of the carbon tax to lower gas, heat, and grocery costs, remove the gatekeepers to build more homes, grow more food, and produce more Canadian energy. We'll let our brilliant immigrants work in their professions by making it possible for their skills to be recognized, and that will lead to more doctors and nurses. But Trudeau has not only unleashed a cost of living crisis, but by turning loose the most violent repeat offenders, Trudeau's caused a crime wave. We see random attacks on transit in Toronto, 4 men shot in Abbotsford over the last few days, a 32% increase in violent crime since Trudeau took office, 92% increase in violent gang-related crime. This is the Trudeau record. Canadians are hurting. Everything feels broken. And instead of turning that hurt into hope, the Prime Minister divides people to distract from his catastrophic failings. Well, we're going to hold him to account, but we're going to turn that hurt into hope. A Poilievre government will tackle inflation, make government affordable so life is affordable, lower taxes, reform our tax system to reward work, remove the gatekeepers who open up the gates of opportunity, and finally tackle violent crime, not by going after Indigenous hunters in Nunavut, but by going after the gun smugglers who bring handguns in from the United States and putting repeat, habitual, violent offenders behind bars where they can no longer do harm. That is the hope we're going to restore for Canadians. Now let's bring it home.
The Canada governor should be fired.
Of course.
On spending, would you support...
I've already answered that to your outlet. You're a CTV, right?
Yes.
Well, I just told them that last month.
On spending, would you support some targeted measures to support low-income Canadians at this point who we know are struggling?
Well, we need to, right now, Canadians with low income are suffering more than ever because of Trudeau's inflation. When he drove up inflation, food prices went up 12%. That hits the poorest the hardest. When he drove up housing prices with all of his money printing, that hurts the lowest income people. And now he's hitting them with higher interest rates. There's no question that Trudeau has attacked our poorest people with this inflationary crisis that he has caused. We're going to get rid of the carbon tax to lower the cost of energy on low-income people. We're going to get rid of the inflation so that the working poor can actually buy the essentials of life. And we're going to reform our tax system so that hard work pays off. The hardest working people in Canada, the lowest income people, pay the highest marginal effective tax rates, because as soon as they get a job and earn an income, they get clawed back and taxed. It's not true that the rich are paying the most. It's the poorest who are suffering the most. Every time they earn a dollar, they lose 80 cents, 90 cents on that dollar in clawbacks and taxes. A Poilievre government We'll reform the clawbacks and taxes so that work always pays and our hard-working, low-income people can get ahead.
Par exemple, si on regarde la santé, M.
Ouais.
Trudeau a invité les premiers ministres des provinces ici à Ottawa le 7 février pour parler santé. D'abord, j'aimerais savoir ce que vous pensez que finalement il accepte de rencontrer les premiers ministres. Mais deuxièmement, est-ce qu'un gouvernement Poilievre donnerait 28 milliards de dollars comme le demandent les provinces sans condition?
Mais tout d'abord, il faut reconnaître l'incroyable accomplissement de Justin Trudeau. Il a réussi à doubler notre dette nationale sans améliorer notre système de santé. C'est incroyable. Comment est-ce qu'on peut dépenser 500 milliards de dollars et ne pas améliorer le système de santé? En fait, c'est pire. Après 8 ans de Justin Trudeau, notre système est en crise. Moi, j'ai 3 priorités en termes de santé. Premièrement, réduire les risques d'attente. Deuxièmement, davantage de médecins et d'infirmières. Et la façon la plus, avec le moins de coûts, c'est de rapidement reconnaître les qualifications de nos immigrants, médecins et infirmières. Statistique Canada montre que la majorité des immigrants, infirmières et médecins ne sont pas permis de travailler dans nos hôpitaux. Ça me rend extrêmement fâché quand je suis là à un hôpital avec ma fille. Elle doit attendre 5 heures parce que les médecins qui proviennent des autres pays ne sont pas permis de travailler dans nos hôpitaux. Donc, je travaillerai avec les provinces pour signer une entente pour rapidement reconnaître les qualifications des immigrants qui sont capables de passer nos examens et obtenir nos standards pour qu'on puisse avoir davantage de médecins et infirmières. Finalement, le gouvernement fédéral devrait accélérer l'approbation des médicaments et traitements nouveaux qui sont disponibles aux États-Unis et en Europe. Mais la bureaucratie ici au Canada est trop lente, donc nos enfants, notre monde ne reçoivent pas ces avancements dans le médecin, dans la science. Donc, il faut accélérer ça. C'est 3 priorités.
Vous avez énoncé vos priorités. Vous venez d'énoncer vos priorités en santé si vous devenez premier ministre.
Oui.
Mais j'ai pas rien vu qu'il y a un signe de dollar là-dedans. Les premiers ministres provinciaux, territoriaux, eux, ce qu'ils demandent, c'est une contribution du fédéral qui équivaut à 35 des dépenses en santé. Est-ce que, oui ou non, vous êtes en faveur? Est-ce que vous allez répondre oui?
Il faut au moins rencontrer les premiers ministres provinciaux. Je trouve ça incroyable que Justin Trudeau ne veut pas rencontrer les premiers ministres des provinces pour en parler et écouter leurs priorités. Mais quand je rencontrerai les premiers ministres provinciaux, je vais partager mes 3 priorités, moins de listes d'attente, plus de médecins et infirmières, et accélérer l'approbation des nouveaux médicaments et traitements. Et je vais écouter les priorités des provinces. C'est comme ça qu'une négociation se fait.
What role do you see for the private sector in the provision of health care in this country?
Well, first of all, we right now, under Justin Trudeau, we have private dental clinics. There are private, under Justin Trudeau, there are private doctors' offices. There are, under Justin Trudeau today are other private pharmacies. So what role, that I just given you examples already, but what matters is that we get shorter wait times, more doctors and nurses, and faster approval of new drugs and treatments for our people. Those are the priorities that I will set. Okay, thank you.